what I've realized, and I haven't met anywhere near as many celebrities as you have and made friends with them or anything, but I've met some, and what I've realized is they're just normal people too, like everyone has problems, everyone has emotions, everyone needs help with things, everybody is just a human, and sometimes people kind of go through situations or something like that. But from my experience at least, most celebrities or whatever you want to call them are actually just kind of normal people like everyone else.
Yeah, so we're all normal people. Their problems are more amplified because they're more known. So let's say if one of your viewers breaks up with their girlfriend, they may just break up with their girlfriend and their circle knows, but with a celebrity, it's going to be on TMZ that night. So that's the thing, is the amplification. And that
Right.
brings extra pressure on somebody. But there's no doubt about it, we're just all normal, amazing people.
The advice that this person gave me was to, instead of trying to, focus full time on networking or whatever, get really, really good at something, or instead focus on the super connectors, right, is what he called it. And like a super connector is somebody who can introduce you to like a large array of people where you don't have to, invest like 100% of your time into networking. Like what's your opinion on networking, or would you just give the same answer where you just got really good at something?
I'd give a different answer, but there's some similarities in the answer. But the idea again is that you got to work your land. Your land is what's in front of you. If you're in the 7th grade, work your 7th grade land. If you're in college, work your land. What do I mean by that? You got to plow the ground. You got to plant the right seed every day. So every day I'm hustling. I'm planting the right seed. Then I'm watering, which is repetition. And then I'm going to reap the harvest. So I got to plow, plant, water, harvest. So, it's one thing for me to meet all these gigantic people, but it's nothing to be so ready that you stay there. So I've stayed there for 40 years. So I wasn't there and then gone. I'm there for 40 years and going up. So that's the key.
And this is another random question, but I'm just curious, right? Because I was reading about Rich Paul, which is like LeBron James' agent, and he met LeBron randomly at the airport in Ohio, right? So that's so serendipitous. Like, how did you actually meet Oprah? Like, how did you start meeting these, like, people like Oprah? Was it serendipitous? Did they reach out to you? Like, how do those things happen for people?
I think the best way to do it is become really good at something. So it's like Malcolm Gladwell, 10,000 hours and become a master. So I'm not good at a lot of things. Like I cook mediocre. My Spanish is mediocre, even though I'm half Spanish. But I am a master at working with people. I became a master. And I think that I cannot be beat as a comeback coach. So what happened is I started cooking that up in my kitchen. And then I started helping a few celebrities, and then it got more celebrities, and then more. And then the biggest celebrities in the world, their managers or agent or the celebrity would look for me. So we've never looked for one person. I just cook it up in the kitchen, and they find the restaurant. So that's the best way to do it. Just become good at something, and people will find you.
So how do you find a mentor that's truly valuable for you, and how do you become truly valuable for them?
Kevin, I think there's two types of mentors in this case. One is the physical mentor that you actually know that person, okay? The second is someone you may never meet in your life. Like Walt Disney could be your mentor, but yet the guy is passed. He's in heaven. So, I've been mentored by a lot of Walt Disney thoughts, ideas, his creative genius, but yet I will never meet Walt Disney, right? But I've also been mentored by Quincy Jones, who I can physically touch, because that's like my guy. So I think that for you that do not have mentors that you can touch, you could be mentored by books, YouTube videos, TED Talks. It's an amazing time to be alive, because we could be mentored without even ever meeting somebody.
I read a story that Robert Downey Jr. went to Burger King, and like the burger was so bad that he like totally decided to change his life. Is that like a completely random story on the internet, or is there any just like shred of truth to that?
No, I think Robert's my brother. We're like brothers since 1999. So I think that that's not the thing that changed him completely. I think that he is a person that wanted to evolve. And so he made like really strong decisions, but was also open to the discovery. But he's like one of the most creative people you could ever be around, because not only like
course.
his acting side, but just his genius about life. And I serve on his board for prison reform. We're helping a lot of prisoners to change their lives. So he's a cool guy. So maybe Burger King slightly changed something.
Tim, one question that I had that I think people would be interested in is, like, where does motivation come from? Like, do some people intrinsically and kind of naturally have more of it? Is that something that you can like learn, or is it something that you're just born with or not?
Okay, I think some people are born with more of it, personality types, no doubt about it. But I think that a promise, when somebody gets a promise of something, it brings hope and expectation. So don't forget this, everyone who's listening. When you get a promise, it brings hope and expectation. Like if you tell a little kid when they're like 5, we're going to Disneyland on Tuesday, the promise brings hope and expectation. So that hope and expectation equals motivation. So when you have the promise of like great things to come, you get motivated.